So I just got back from a study abroad. That's a lie. I actually got back in May. Can you guess where? Can you tell where I went? Is it obvious? This isn't sponsored. I should probably stop doing this. Ireland. I went to Ireland. More specifically, Dublin. It was fun. I mean, I definitely enjoyed myself, even though there were some struggles along the way. I've had a lot of time to reflect on, the experience as a whole, and I just kind of figured I'd share my thoughts with you guys. I didn't want to do some boring, my time in Ireland story time though, because where's the fun in that? So instead, here is my list of pros and cons of studying abroad. Ready? Let's go! Forgot this. Con number 1. You're expecting me to start with the pros, right? Haha, bamboozled. They were not very academically concerned about me. Contrary to popular belief, most students go to study abroad to actually get an education at another college. Apparently that's not the idea here, because the whole time I was over there, it was sort of this idea that it was nearly impossible for me to fail and I shouldn't even care, so my teachers didn't really care either. Honestly, it was quite the problem, because anytime I would have any issues and I wanted to ask for help, I always got the exact same response from my teachers. You're an exchange student, don't worry about it. I'm sorry, don't worry? I thought I was an exchange student. I thought I was here to learn. I mean, I got the credits back here at home, so whatever, I guess. Con number 2. Finances. Truth time, Europe is expensive. Between higher taxes, more taxes, sugar tax, and conversion rates of money, it is really expensive to be out in Europe. I preface this as me being an American who's never lived in Europe before. Honestly, it probably wouldn't have been that bad if I had had a job out there. See, the thing with studying abroad is when you apply to go to a college in another country, you're getting a student visa. But what that doesn't cover is like work. You need an entirely separate thing for that. So being there as a student meant I couldn't have a job in that country. Also bus fare. It's really expensive to ride the bus there, and being a student just gets you kind of a small discount. Long story short, they have a lot of things that drain your bank account. Sugar tax! And I ran out of money really quickly, to the point where my last 2 months of the study abroad were spent with me hiding in my room because I didn't have the funds to do anything with my friends. Con number 3. I felt really unprepared. This really isn't about the study abroad itself, rather this is more about the process of getting there. Going through the process of even just applying for this study abroad was probably the most stressful thing I have done in my entire college career. I'm not calling anyone out, but I was seriously not having a good time with this. I felt like I couldn't get a straight answer on any of the questions I asked, and I spent the entire time leading up to the experience stressing out about what I was doing and if I was doing it wrong. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. All that said, I actually had a really good time, and there are a lot of pros that go along with those. Pro number 1, it's actually a really great cultural experience. This one is obvious. I was in another country. Of course I would be experiencing a different culture. And even though Ireland is an English-speaking country, it has its own ideas and methods to things, and its own chaos to deal with. Like most colonized countries, the primary language spoken in Ireland is English, but in a lot of regions, they still speak a lot of Irish. Because of this, everything is translated in both languages. This was really cool on the buses because they spoke to you. So you would be getting off at Shinoan Road and a second later hear the bus say Boher Shannon. Disclaimer, I don't speak Irish, so that's about as close as I can get. Don't mean to offend anyone. Also, didn't find this out until later, but it's the norm in Ireland for an Irishman to buy you a drink. The only thing that comes with that is it's expected that you're buying the next round. Pro number 2, you make a lot of friends. I made so many cool friends over there, and a lot of them don't live in America. Now, I met a girl who actually goes to my school, who I never would have met otherwise, a kid from Alabama, but then there's 2 people from Norway, and a guy from the Netherlands. How cool is that? Y'all don't realize just how cool it is to have friends in other countries. Like, you know how you see those facts where, oh, in Norway they do this, in Norway they do that. You can actually fact check those without Google. You just ask your friends, and they'll tell it to you straight up. These friends made the whole experience so much more enjoyable for me. Like, even in the end, when I was trying to trap myself in the room to not do anything, they were making sure that I had food to eat, and that I wasn't just sitting around beating myself up for not having any money and being bored. We would have movie days, we would just hang out. We always watched the Liverpool matches. Hands down, best time ever. So shout out to Rebecca, Patrick, Cecilia, Marita, and Ilya, because you guys are the best and I love you. Pro number 3 is travel. Newsflash, it is crazy cheap to travel in Europe when you're already in Europe, which is interesting considering how expensive everything else is. Sugar tax. So my friend and I got plane tickets, booked a hotel, and spent 4 days in Edinburgh, Scotland. If it wasn't for my financial situation, I would have done a lot more traveling while I was out there. Just, unfortunately, I couldn't manage it. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. At least I got Scotland, right? Camera died. It's darker outside. Lighting has changed. Moving on. Pro number 4, drinks. This one is simple. If you go to Ireland and don't drink every day after class, did you ever really go to Ireland? All in all, I had a really good time in Ireland. Would I recommend it to others? I mean, sure, I guess. Personally, I think it's a better option to just save up money and travel in Europe. That way you can avoid the whole academic side of the whole experience. Would I do it again? Probably not. But I am for sure going to go back. There's still so much there that I have left to see and do. Plus, I think I owe a bartender a drink or two.